Hey, what up? It's Brad with Home Love Construction, and in this video I'm going to talk about letting in natural light. We get this question all the time on how do I get more natural light? It's like, you know, it seems to be like the thing that marks whether a house is well designed or not is how much natural light do you get, or do you have to light the whole place up with can lights, which can be nice, but most people prefer some nice natural light. It just feels when you walk in, you're like, ah, here I am, nice and natural light. And if you do, you know, videos like, you know, Instagram stories and shit like that, it looks so much better in natural light than in artificial light. So that too. But the point is, how do you get more of that in your house? Well, first off, before I get into the mechanics of it, realize that at Home Love Construction, we do a lot of custom home design. So custom homes from scratch, and also renovating homes to make them your custom home, like take an existing home and make it into exactly what you want. We do that all the time, every day. If you're interested in that, you can go to homelove.construction/design, and you can see some of the designs we've done, and you can get started on having us help you on your design today. So that's one thing. Now, how do you actually do it? Well, there's a couple simple ways. One is wherever your doors are, if they're not covered by a roof, you're going to get in more natural light. Now, what does that mean? Let's take, for example, you have a bunch of sliders on the back of your house and you have a patio, but your roof extends 10 feet over those sliders. Like, here's the exterior wall of your house and you have 10 more feet of roof going this way. That, even if you have the biggest sliders in the world, they're not going to let in as much light as if you didn't have that roof there. The only time you're going to get a lot of light in through those sliders is when the sun is very low at the beginning of the day or the end of the day. And if they're not facing east or west, you're never going to get that much light in through those sliders. That's just a simple fact of how the sun works. Is if you have this roof and the sun's here, it's going to come in. If the sun's up here, it's not going to get that much natural light in. So that's one thing, is if you have doors and windows that are really big, but they're covered by a roof that extends out over them, they're going to block the natural light a lot of the day, and it's going to feel darker in the home. Wherever you have the, you know, you can think of it as the inlet, wherever the inlet for the light is, like the place that's letting the light in, if you cover it with a roof, it's no longer going to let as much light in. So that might seem obvious, but sometimes people design things and then build them, and they're like, man, I really wanted a porch to go and sit under, but now inside the house it's dark. We do interior and exterior renovations, so we've run into a lot of this where, you know, somebody wants to be able to sit under their covered porch and have it be nice and cool. So we build that, and then it makes the inside of the house a little darker. Then they have to add some lighting and blah, blah, blah. So the other, one of the by far easiest and best, and also one of the least costly ways to add more natural light to your home is to add what we call transom windows. This isn't the correct technical term, but it's kind of what these windows have become called. They're long, skinny windows that are much wider than they are tall, that you place high in a wall, like above where your head would be. Those tend to let in a lot of light, as long as they're, you know, not jammed up against the roof eave, because you run into the same problem. But if they're between, you know, let's say you have 8-foot ceilings, if they're around 7 feet, I mean, they really work best if you have 9 or 10-foot ceilings, because then you can place them up high at 8 feet. What they do is they let in a lot of ambient light, a lot of that natural light, without it seeming like you're in a fishbowl. Because sometimes you can get that effect. If you put too many windows inside of a single family home that's one story, you can get a little bit of a fishbowl effect where you're like, oh my God, like everybody can just look in at me because there's windows all around you. That can be a little weird. The way to avoid that but still get the natural light is to add those long, not so tall windows high up in your wall. Again, we call them transom windows. And they're actually not even that costly. That's not a very expensive type of window because they don't have to open. So they're easier to manufacture. So that's a really, really simple way to do it. The best time to add those is when you are doing a renovation, naturally, because you have to affect the drywall, you have to do the stucco on the outside, you have to cut out block or cut out wood. It is a bit of a process, but if you're doing it while a renovation is going on, it can be pretty simple. So those are some super simple little hacks on how to get more ambient light into your house. And then obviously the third most simple one is, if you have doors that are solid, replace them with doors that have glass in them. They're just simple, like boom, there you go. So if you're interested in doing that, you can go to homelove.construction/design, And we can throw some elements into your design that make art with light. So again, homelove.construction/design is the URL for that. You can go there and get started on your design today. If you got some value out of this video, please hit the subscribe button below. It does help me out a lot personally, and it helps me to help you because we reach more people, do more projects, then make more videos about those projects. I'll see you in the next vid. Thanks for watching. Peace.